Hello everyone, it's Bubbles from Venom Fluid Art. Hope you're enjoying the amazing adventures on the Fluid Express today. Now, did you just watch ShanB from ShanB Fluid Art? How good is she? One of my favourite artists in this world. She's just so out of the box and always doing something different. Rocks my world. So, today, you trashing the place, honey?
Mostly.
Right, usually it's me doing them whoopsies.
Oops.
So, we've got a few different things we're going to use today because in the Venom Garage, we're just going to have a play day, people. I think that's fun, right? So, stole this from the kitchen. I don't cook, so we're never going to use it. It's going to have its place today. That is going to be our first tool. We're going to use this one today. We're going to use this swipe tool today. We might even get the little mini-me of that one out today. And we are definitely going to roll with this one today. So, they are all of our tools of choice. So, what we're also going to use is 8 by 10 inch canvas. Yeah, wasn't that one a tragedy? We're going to go over it, make it better. So, colours. We're going to rock one of my favourite this little piggies. It is the glorious Lemon Sorbet. Now, I love this colour. Well, I actually like the colour for what it is, but I more so love it for what it does to other colours. So I think with what we're doing today, it's just going to give it a little bit of justice. So the next one I'm going to use is actually a custom by Venom, and it's got a little bit of dioxazine purple in it and Pearl X's super red russet. And look at that. Extreme close up for that one. Isn't that beautiful? So we're going to use that one. Then I have Cosmic Orange by Eye Candy. So today, I'm actually mixing and matching a few different pigments just to show you. Hey, they play nice together. So that is our Cosmic Red. Then I have another Eye Candy, which is an Arc Orange. Hopefully we've got enough of that one left because I've been having to play with that one lately. Isn't that gorgeous? That's just like what sunsets are made of, isn't it? And then the last one we've got is a custom orange. Wouldn't be right to play in the Venom Garage without another custom. So 2 customs and then our mixed bag of pigments. Look at that. So that one I'm hoping is going to pop through for some really gorgeous highlights too, like our lemon sorbet. Then, if you missed it, and you want to watch it again, I will get Venom to put up the number of his how to make his gold CA. Gorgeous cell activator. Really works beautiful. And then I'm going to be using on all my palette knife swipes. Just could be a lamp black. Could be. Not too sure on that one. Just the black CA. Alright, so we are going to move these little tools, put them back in their place for a minute on this one. So what I thought today's idea is playing with all different styles and techniques. And something like this takes a little bit more time, but it gives you a whole heap of practice of all different techniques while you're at it. So what we're going to do first is load this lovely cooking tray up with some black pillow. Just give it a really nice good puddle. A little bit more. I mean, these little sauce bottles, great for my hands with the RA, but they do take a little bit longer. I can't use the bigger containers because my hands just drop them. But that's alright. It's always where there's a will, there's a way. So we're going to roll with that one. I think that's a good enough size puddle for what we want to achieve today. So I may as well leave the lid off that because we're coming back to that. Now, Put a little bit of our cosmic red down. Gorgeous colour, isn't it? Look at it on the black. Like, it really pops. So a little bit of that. Now we'll grab our custom red russet out. The Dioxidine just makes this colour amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's one of my new favourite go-to colours. I think I'll get a nervous twitch if I run out. Alright, so that's that one. Now I think what we'll do, put our arc orange down. Reminds me very, very similar, this one, to Mosh by this little piggy, but this one just, I don't know, bit of depth there. Really cool. Now we'll put down our lemon sorbet. I love this colour. This has just got its place in so many different styles. And our last one over the top, our custom. We'll cover the lemon sorbet right up with that one, because she's going to pop through the minute we get the mini blower out. And I think, yeah, it's going to do us. Doesn't have to be huge. Get our CA out. $2, we're done. Okay, you up, George? Oh, he's ready. We might just, I've seen that bubble pop its head up then. There we go. Now with this one, we are going for nothing else but cells. So what I'm going to do now is leave that, because the cells are going to pop through. It's a really thick black CA this, so it's going to take time. So I'm not even worried that that black's thick, because you can already see them cells starting to appear. So usually sometimes we race in too quick with that straw. Sometimes we've just got to put it aside and do something else for a minute. So that's what we're going to do. So that is part one of our project done. So we can come back to that later. Now, what we're going to do is get a good size floating pillow going on this one. Now, a lot of times I really don't bother just because I'm lazy. But today I'll just run that little bit over the edge there. I find with these type of ones you can always just add a little bit of paint to the edge later and it just runs still. But a lot of people say always wipe your edges like this. Gives it that little bit to roll over them. The paint flows a bit better. So we'll go with that advice today. Just because the one time I run the gauntlet, I'd guarantee you it's not going to work for me. So we'll just give it that helping hand. Just about there. Tell you what though, black is the messiest. Perfect for the messy girl painters, I tell you. I walked inside before to make lunch and my kids are like, Mum, you know you got that even in your mouth, it's up your nose, it's everywhere. Damn straight it is. You know I've been having fun. Alright, so we're going to grab out our big swipe tool now. Now I'm going to put this that way, I think. Now, I'm going to put nothing else but the gold CA down on this swipe tool now. Just get a nice sort of evenish sort of coverage on it. Just so it's not too thick in one bit and very little on the other. As even as you can, and sometimes all that means is just grabbing your paint stick out and just rubbing it across. So it's pretty even. That way we just get a nice flow all the way across. Now I'm going to angle it. Alright, now let's just walk it through. And that's all we want to do with that bit. See? Nice and simple. So far, we've managed to rock a bloom. We've done just a CA swipe. Now, always with colour CAs too, always think slower. So where that looks like it's just plain bold, it'll do something. Just walk away, give it 2. Let it just do its thing. And if you are worried, you can always get your straw out. But I really don't think you need to. Not on what we're doing. So, now we're going to grab our first palette knife out. This little one. We're going to load her up with some black CA. So I'm using sort of a thicker CA this week, just that I've really liking the thicker CA with the palette knife swipes. But I think it's one of them things that it's each to their own. What works for one person may not work for someone else, and does it really matter? No. Just find your own thing. We all have our different ways and styles of doing things, and I think in the end you watch all these videos and just put together what works for you. Add your own little piece to it at the end. Now then we'll get some of that orange out. I really love the eye candy arc orange though. I think it's really just bold and beautiful. Really stands out with all the other colours as well. Doesn't matter what else you put down on that palette, you can always see it. Always. Get that little bit of lemon sorbet going. Alright. I think where that's thicker there, yeah, let's get that through there. Yeah, thin that down a bit, that gold. Seem to have a lot going on in this little box today. Hopefully I don't bump too much over. Now, even when you palette knives, you don't have to put the same colours down in the same order. You can just random. Sometimes it's really cool, I found too, to do just the random pick a colour and lay it down, because the different effects in all the different swipes looks really cool. And as I said, today we're experimenting. I think that's where some of the best zingers come from. Our happy dance moments when we jump out of the box and try something new. Okay. What I'm going to do, let me grab a bit of this, bit of that. Let's run some extra colour through there. So that's what the little tool comes out in handy for. Because if you've got that little bit of too much CA that you don't think's really going to sink and do much more for you, grab your little one out. Little one's got a lot of control through these spaces. Okie dokie. And just random colours again. But I absolutely do love lemon sorbet in these. Really great for the highlights. Get something going in there. Alright, we'll put our little dude down for a moment. Sometimes if you want to just see how it's going to open up a little bit, you can give it a little bit of a spin. You see them colours are really starting to come through now. So I think what we're going to do is put one more straight down the centre there, and then we might get our transfer swipe happening. Alright. So now we're back to our big palette knife. It's so much fun to mix and match different colours on these. Like I did one a few weeks ago where it was my favourite blue palette with a bit of these reds, orange and yellows as well. It can look really cool mixing it up. Alright. Get a little bit of that. But doesn't that arc orange and the cosmic red really sticks its head out, doesn't it? They're brilliant in a colour palette together. Absolutely brilliant. Cool. We might walk some small ones back up now. Sort of digging what the little one's doing today. Okie dokie, nearly there. Alright, I'm going to leave that alone now I think, and we'll grab our other palette knife out, which is this little fella. It's going to move that red because I think I'm going to have an accident if I don't move it now. Look at our bloom. There we go. As I said, that centre looked really thick before, didn't it? Now, not too bad at all. So, let's go in with the swipe. So I'm just going to scoop here a little bit of an angle so it just walks its way onto the palette knife. See that? Cells are all staying intact. Then I can just pop her up, wipe the base, and there's all our pattern just sitting there nicely ready for us to use it. Nice and easy, huh? So I think what we're going to do is walk that straight down the centre. Now if you take it really slow, slow and steady wins the race, as they say, we are going to keep a lot of those gorgeous cells. Give them time to flow, give them time to move down that palette knife. And there we go. Just by not being in a hurry and letting the paint do its thing. Because that's the problem. Sometimes we get a bit impatient and we want to rush it along, but what's your hurry? You're having fun, right? So take your time. There we go. Got our cells sitting there again. So let's move them along this bit, I think. And you'll see when they start to move and when you can move your palette knife. And if you want wider, longer cells, just move it a little bit faster. It's all up to you. Your piece of work. You control the flow. So that's that bit. So now what I think we might do is bring it down through this bit here. Got a gorgeous piece there. So once again, just tilt it back. Let the paint just flow onto it. It'll do it. So it's sitting pretty much flat there. Then just scoop her off. I just wipe the butt just so I don't get any drips from underneath to wreck my day. If that makes sense. Because sometimes them pesky drips can be that blob you just didn't want. So just take the time, scoop the bottom. There we go. So, do we need any more, do we think? Because we've still got that much left. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Looking. Why not? I want that really bright bit. Gotcha. There you go. Let's bring you around. Okay. Quite happy with those scoop and drags there off the palette. That's pretty cool. Just don't want to waste that last bit. There's some really cool cells sitting there. Just a shame for them to end up in the slop bin. There. happy now. So, we'll put that to the side because, yeah, that's messy. I'm going to have to clean that later. Now, let's have a look at our swipes, eh? So, how cool's this been, right? Done a bloom. Done just a CA swipe. And some palette knife swipes. We've got like a few techniques going on. Had practice at all of them. So, that to me is a good experiment play day. Now I'm going to open up them a bit. And I'm going to stop there. Open up them a bit there. That's pretty cool. Let's just see what that bit's going to do there. And last bit. I just got a thing for opening up the palette knife swipes. I just think it looks super cool. You don't have to. You can leave them exactly as they are. It's your creation when you're having a play. But Bubbles can't help herself. I just think they look super cool when they're opened up like that. I think we are ready to have a spin. See what this is going to do for us. After we pop that huge bubble. That was a ripper. We'll pop him in, I think. Otherwise I'll probably set it on fire. Done that a few times. It's definitely an interesting feeling when you see the smoke coming off your canvas. Alright, let's take her for a run. So I just think, you know, go a little bit slow at first. Don't do a normal bubbles and reef the spinner. Because now you've got to think you've got that transfer swipe in there too. And if you move that really quickly, they can focculate really easily if you don't be careful. So just take it nice and easy and let the paint do the work. It'll start moving. Now what we're going to look for when we get to our what I call the halfway mark is if there's bits in there that we're not real thrilled with, we've still got that chance that we can put the skewer in or do another palette knife swipe because we haven't spun that pillow right out yet. So I'm just making sure this is all going to run to the edges properly for me. Because even though I wet my edges, that is still pretty dry right there. Probably because I took so long. There we go. No harm done, she's moving now. But that's pretty adventurous, right? Just make sure, okay, let's open her up a bit now. I want that to move right off them edges for me. So, what I always think when you're doing any type of creation, just stop for a minute, stand back and have a good look at it. Because we're always probably our biggest critics, but sometimes if you just stand back, have a good look, you might just start to appreciate little bits where you went right. And leave it alone. Sometimes we go too far and end up wrecking it just from being over fussy, I think, too. You just got to know sometimes where to stop. Alright, so what I might do is I'll pop this up and I'll get my famous cameraman, my lovely better half Venom Wombat, aka Darren, to give you a close-up of that one. And I hope you enjoyed that today, guys. We had a bit of fun with a few different type of techniques. We did our bloom, we did our CA swipe, we did our palette knife swipes, and we had a whole heap of fun. And the transfer swipe. So quite a lot of practice, all in one piece. So I hope you got some cool little tips and tricks and took something away from that, because I had a ball. So thank you so much for watching. Next up after me today, as usual, we have our famous Fluid Art Express caboose, the amazing Tony, the hippy dippy painter man, and sometimes his fabulous wife Kat joins as well. So until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. You have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me.